Okay, this is the Yealink MeetingBar A50. We have the bar set in group framing mode at a medium speed. We are using just the bar itself, not the supplemental expansion microphone. You can also pair this with a ceiling mic and ceiling speakers for additional audio, but for this test, we are just using the bar itself. So this is here, I'm maybe 6 feet away, and I'm directly engaging with the far end. And this is probably a pretty good representation of an ideal audio and video environment for this bar. So now I'm going to get up and I'm going to give a less ideal experience where I am facing a whiteboard. I am talking to the whiteboard, not to the microphone, not to the people. But hey, I might turn around this way and face the person at the head of the table and talk to them there. Or maybe I'm turned around this way and I'm facing towards the far end and engaging with them there. Or I can turn back and this is just straight at the whiteboard, or this is turned and facing the rest of the table. That's what that experience is like. Now, if I move on over here and I take a seat at the head of the table, I can be leaned in here and I'm very engaged as the person running the meeting from the head of the table. I am around 18 feet away, which is about as far as I ever really would like to use a soundbar in a room, but this is what that experience is like. Now, let's say I'm maybe a little further away, leaned back, a little disengaged. That's what this experience is going to be like. It's, from that to this. This is the engaged leaned in versus the leaned back and not very engaged. Then I can turn around and I can face towards the windows and the curtains, and that's what that looks and sounds like. So now I'm going to get up and I'm going to talk at the whiteboard on this side of the wall. So this should be similar to the other side. If I turn and face the head of the table, or I turn and face the far end, or I'm back against the wall, or I turn around and I face the folks at the rest of the table, that's what that experience is like. Now, if I come in here, I'm going to sit down. This is the closest anybody's reasonably going to be in most any kind of normal circumstance. I'm leaned in. I'm directly engaging with the far end. This should be as good as the audio and video experience will get. I'm really close, maybe 4 feet away, and I'm looking and talking straight at the bar. So now we're going to get up and we're going to walk around the room. 1, 2, 3. Hey, hey. Testing, testing. Check, check. 1, 2. Hey, hey. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, hey. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check, check. 1, 2. Hey, hey. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm now back in my original seat. The framing has struggled to follow me around the room and find me again. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk until it does. Generally speaking, this bar is pretty good at small framing adjustments, but it struggles a lot, I have seen, when I walk around the whole table as one person in the room, and can take a very long time for it to come back and find me at the original seat. So I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to talk until it realizes that I am still here and cuts back to that video so that I can end this clip. And this is taking a much longer amount of time than it did previously. And I really wish that the camera would come find me so that I could stop talking and finish this up. But it is still aimed at the whiteboard on the other side of the room. So I'm going to get up and I'm going to move around and I'm going to do something else to try to see if I can get the camera to come find me again. Hey, hey, 1, 2, check, check. There we go. Okay, so now it finally zoomed out. So now let's see if it will frame me back again in my seat where I originally started. Hey, hey, 1, 2, 3, check, check. Testing 1, 2, hey, hey. I'm back in the seat where I started. It is still relatively zoomed out and it hasn't zoomed in to focus on me, but I think this is about par for the course on what this thing does in group framing mode, which is not well suited to one person in a room getting up and walking around a whole bunch. But this has been the Yealink MeetingBar A50 without the expansion microphone in group framing at medium speed. So this is the Yealink MeetingBar A50. I currently have the bar set in speaker tracking mode at a slow speed to hopefully still follow me around the room as I do this test without being too fast and jerky, but also without being so slow that you can't really see what I'm doing. That's what I ran into when I left it in group framing mode, and speaker tracking fast was just way too much movement. So this is speaker tracking slow. I also am using the little wireless expansion microphone, which is back there. So this is what the bar sounds like with the expansion microphone. So here I am up close to the bar, engaging with this. Hopefully the audio here is coming from the bar itself, because that's what I'm facing, but we will see. And so now if I get up and I engage with the whiteboard, I am talking at the whiteboard, I am doodling something on the whiteboard. Maybe I turn and say something to the person at the head of the table, or maybe I turn back and say something to the people on the far end, and then I come back and I'm just looking at the whiteboard. Maybe I turn all the way around and now I'm facing the whole table directly. This is what that experience is like. Now, if I come up here and I sit down at the head of the table, this is going to be much closer now to the expansion microphone, but I am up here and I'm engaged. So I'm leaned in, I'm talking directly. This is a very important meeting that I feel very passionately about. Or, maybe this is something where I'm sitting back, I'm leaned back, I'm not terribly engaged. Maybe I just want somebody to explain what the widgets are for. Why do we have the widgets? Why are we selling the widgets? I don't know. Or maybe I'm so disgusted by the widgets that I'm facing the window covered with curtains. But anyway you slice it, that's what the experience is like here for me at the head of the table with the expansion mic, maybe 3.5, 4 feet in front of me. So then I get up and I engage here with the whiteboard wall on this side, and I'm talking at the wall. I turn back, talk to the head of the table, talk to the far end, and maybe I turn here and I talk to the whole table about the importance of our widgets. So now I come and I sit down in the seat that is closest to the bar, and I'm leaned in. I'm really engaging with the far end. This is about as optimal of an experience as you could ever possibly hope to get here in this environment. I'm directly engaged. I'm leaned in. I'm ready to go. And what is this experience like? Is this a good experience? I don't know. We'll see. But I will turn back here and I will face the table. In this case, I'm facing away from the bar, but I am kind of facing towards the table mic. How does this sound? I don't know. I'm a little far from the table mic, but that's probably a more direct pickup than backwards from the bar. So now I'm going to get up and I'm going to move around the table. 1, 2, 3, check, check, testing, hey, hey. Check, check, 1, 2, 3, hey, hey. Testing, 1, 2, 3, hey, hey. Check, check, 1, 2. Testing, hey, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm back in my original seat from the beginning of the test. So this has been the Yealink MeetingBar A50 with the expansion wireless microphone.